Alrighty folks, welcome back to the channel. We're back here in the old Jeepy acres with my Jeep collection, obviously, and got kind of a side project I wanted to take care of today, and that is putting the Willys MB on that frame. If you guys might recall, I put out a quick video last fall when I got this frame, and this is a Willys Jeep frame. That's about all the information there was on it. It was free, so obviously, you know, I brought it home. And it came with a ton of other Jeep parts. This thing has been pretty heavily modified. They did away with the stock shackles and did kind of what you would consider normal shackles. It's got the sassy old tires on it too. They pushed it back, and that's like a Nova steering box or some nonsense. I forget what exactly. It's a Ross steering box. They had mounts in it for like a V8 that are finely crafted mounts, you know. I'd trust a V8 on that, but this was an old Jeep frame, and we're going to set the MB on it just so that the MB kind of looks more like a Jeep again, and I think that'd be pretty cool. Obviously, I got to clean all this junk off of this frame, and we're going to get this and the MB tub pulled out into the open where I can get at them with the old top kick with the crane. So yeah, that's kind of today's project. Well, all the front sheet metal on the MB here is just mocked up, and it's just hand tightened bolts. So I'm going to undo all the bolts that I've got on there, and we'll set the front sheet metal aside. The tub itself is sitting on a pallet, so I can obviously just, I borrowed the skiddy there, so we can just pick up the pallet, take it out there, and we should be able to pick up the whole tub with the top kick and set it right onto the frame, and then we'll get all the front sheet metal mocked back up, and I think it'll look pretty cool. Yeah, someday I'll get to actually making a project out of this thing. This is a super cool Jeep because it has a great story behind it. If you guys recall, I picked this thing up last spring. Actually, about this time last spring, 1 year ago, I got this Jeep. And I know some people were annoyed at the video because the video title was like Rescuing a Piece of Alaskan History. And there was like somebody that thought that it was a build video, and I was going to build this thing in like the 9 minutes long that video was. I don't know, some people have unrealistic expectations, but anyways, still not going to build it. It's not going to be running and driving at the end of this video, so if that's what you're looking for, you know, you can go find another video to watch. But we'll get it set on the frame, and then it'll be, I wanted it up off the ground so it's not in all this grass, because that's the way it was all of last summer. So little baby steps here. I'll get the front sheet metal off. We'll scoop up this pallet with the skiddy. We'll take it out in the open. We'll come back. We'll grab that frame after I clean all the junk off, and then we'll put the two together. Well, it's officially summer. We got our first mosquitoes. At least these first ones are big, fat, and slow, so they're easy to get. That's cool. Just got the front sheet metal off this thing. We'll get it taken out to the front there where we have space to work, and then I'll come back and grab the frame there. Alrighty, let's see if we can maneuver this thing out of here. Oh, I gotta line up on my pallet a little better. Hold on. There we go. Or not, apparently. That's pretty rough. That's more like it. Okay, we got her. I had to shift the body around on the pallet there so I could actually pick it up. Now we just have to maneuver through the trees here and, you know, not lose this valuable piece of World War II history. Alrighty, there we go. So now we just got to get the top kick out and just... I want to get this rigged up and picked up and set close to this, and I'll see if I need to pull that steering box off or not. This obviously is something somebody added, but it seems to be pretty close to the stock mounting location, so hopefully the MB will sit real close to that and I won't have to move it. I don't know what the steering box is out of or what it's for, but it's there now. So anyways, let's fire up the top kick. I had it warming up before I started filming, so it's not a cold start and it's not an old start, but I did film the cold start on this thing. So check out that YouTube short if you guys want to see it. The old 3208 powered GMC top kick with the slipperiest clutch in America. Alrighty, I'm gonna jockey this thing around. I might have shot myself in the foot by putting the MB there because I don't know if I can quite get out of here, but we'll get it figured out. Alrighty, we got this thing up and airborne, and now we just gotta man waver it over there. Should work out perfect because I need to boom up and then run some cable out, so I'll have, you know, you boom up with the crane and it moves this over, so it should line up perfect. The old top kick's working great. Even put the outrigger down, so we're full safety around here. OSHA wouldn't even bat an eye at that ratchet strap that's part of my rigging safety. So I'll fire up the old top kick and we'll man waver this thing right onto the frame. Alrighty, there she is, all set up. The body's just sitting on the frame. Obviously I haven't done anything else, but that's pretty good for a quick little afternoon project. I think I'm gonna go get the air compressor. We'll see if we can't put some wind in at least most of these tires. I might have a can of ether kicking around and we might try and seat this one. It'd be kind of cool if this thing was sitting on aired up tires. I'm not the biggest fan of this tire setup, but I mean, they're kind of cool old bias plies, but I usually prefer, you know, skinny tires like what's on Eureka there. Those are 6016s on that thing, a stock tire size for a CJ2A. And 6016 NDTs are what would have been on this Jeep. In case I haven't mentioned it, this is a later World War II Willys MB tub. The top is kind of a rare one. This is like an immediately post World War II kind of custom top. And the company, I'm pretty sure, was Pentagon Manufacturing. I've got a tag, or I have a picture of a tag from an identical top to this one. That's like, I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering it right, it's Pentagon Manufacturing. So it's kind of a cool top. It's got the windows were made to slide up and down. Obviously this thing's pretty mangled, but it's still a really cool piece of history. And well, I had the top and I had the Jeep tub, and so I just set the top on here for the time being, but it's kind of a neat piece. This is kind of a cool view. You can see how many holes are in this tub from all the miscellaneous over the years, and then all the original stuff like axe and shovel bracket stuff would have been in there, and then that's top bow brackets there and back there, and then your jerry can and spare tire mounts would have went back here. I believe jerry can, spare tire mount, and that's all those holes. So like, yeah, boy, this thing's got more holes in it than Swiss cheese. Holy cow. Hopefully I didn't do that. No, I don't think I did that. That looks pretty old. That's good. Well, I'll get this thing put back in the back there where it belongs, and then we'll get the front sheet metal put back on her. Alrighty, some wind in the tires, and she's looking sharper than a three-piece suit. I even got that one to take the bead. I didn't even have to blow it up or nothing. Just put oil around it and held the bead and put air to it. What a unit. Except for this tire over here is leaking wind out of the valve stem. You can see the bubble in there. I tried to get it to seal, but seems like a struggle for another time. Well, we're going to try and tow this thing out back with old Eureka here, and we'll see how that debacle goes. Hopefully it doesn't stall out on that hill there, but this is kind of a silly game to play. Oh, she's got it. What a trooper. This thing's like having a free employee. You just kind of have to give her some direction. Except for that, trying to drive itself into the tree there. Eureka's like an employee. This thing's like a, well, this thing's also like an employee. Always off into the bushes. I'm sure there's a picture in an OSHA manual of a Jeep driving itself with a big red circle and a cross through it, but you know, you don't need to worry about it. There, we got her back on track. We'll try and get this thing around and get the MB backed into a parking spot here. I never even noticed the sheet metal brake line bracket. Somebody was going deluxe with their Jeep build here. And the steering box only runs right into this cross brace. What a well planned out Jeep build somebody had. Too bad, now it's just a storage spot for my MB. Alrighty, so I was getting the sheet metal thrown on this thing, and I was going to make the comment, or I might have already, that this, I'm pretty sure, is not a CJ 2A, 3A, 3B, or M38 frame. It's definitely not a World War II frame either. I was going to make the comment, and then I realized it definitely isn't, because it's got the a square cross member, and 2As and 3As, MBs, GPWs, you know, all the flat fender Jeeps basically had a round tube cross member with the bell crank mount on it, as you can see on this very CJ3A. So that's not a flat fender Jeep frame, I'm almost dead certain, but a flat fender kind of fits on it. You can see the frame's super long out the front, but I'm just going to throw the hood on it. It'll do, the frame will do the trick for keeping my MB off the ground, and it looks pretty doggone cool too. I think I need to scoot it forward some on the frame, but I'm going to run into that steering box, so it's kind of just stuck there for now. Alrighty, well there she is. If you don't think that looks cool, I mean, I don't know what's wrong with you, but that looks super cool. Definitely not the end result look I want for the MB here, but obviously this gives it something to sit on, keeps the MB out of the grass and stuff over there, and you know, also this is pretty cool yard art. So yeah, pretty quick. Honestly, it only took me a couple hours to get this all thrown together. So we've got MB off the ground. We're doing something with this frame as well, and yeah, pretty cool yard art here. Hood's kind of just baling wired down, and I have one hood latch, but it works for now. If you guys don't remember, this Willys MB, the tub anyhow, is about the only original part I know of that I have, but that Jeep was sold surplus after World War II, and then the founder of the Salcha store, probably 30 to 40 miles or so south of Fairbanks here, the founder of the Salcha store bought this Jeep surplus and drove it up the Alcan Highway after the war, which is a great story because that's a heck of a drive, especially right after the war when the road was still dirt and mud. It was nasty. That was a heck of a trip for a guy to undertake in a little old Jeep like this one. So some pretty cool stuff. Great history to this Willys MB. Eventually, I'd like to turn the MB into mostly stock, but looking like this. So I'll have to turn up, you know, a stock flat fender frame eventually, but definitely going to keep this frame around. I might throw something else on it when I do something with the MB. I'll try and put something else on, because that's a really cool look for a flat fender Jeep. Like, that's classic 70s off-road style. I mean, the tires are straight out of the 70s. These old Goodyear trackers on one chrome wheel. It's kind of a chrome steel too. That is a cool look for an old Jeep. We'll have to, well, I'm keeping all the parts around, so someday we'll do something else with all these parts, but for right now, that's a good look. And I'm going to hang up the video here. I've got to get all that junk put up on pallets so it's not all sitting on the ground. And just doing some spring cleaning and organizing around the yard here is all I really been doing. But I'd like to thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.